seem to be on some coon shit. Not all of them, but too many. You know what I mean? So it's a whole bunch of moving parts always going on at the same time. But at the end of the day, we need to be empowered. At the end of the day, we need people around us that are fair, honest and fair people, right? And when we talk about politics, everybody telling me and telling people around us, vote, 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 vote. I think that is a incorrect way to go about that topic. You can't just tell me to vote. I can be adding more negative fuel to the fire if I vote for the wrong person, or we put in office someone who does not mean me any well. So you should be telling me who to vote for, right? You need to tell me, okay, you need to have a conversation out of it. You can't have a fucking shirt that says vote, or have a commercial that just tells teenagers to vote. You need to tell teenagers how to select the right candidate. You need to tell teenagers to understand who they are and get a grasp of what's important to them. Once you know what's important to you, then you can go out and seek a candidate who is speaking to what's important to you. Now, I would say, if I have specific issues that I want to see taken care of in this country, if it's a presidential election time and neither one of the candidates are expressing to me that they have the ability, the fortitude, or the willpower to fix these issues that are affecting me specifically, then fuck you. I won't vote. Does that make sense? Right? Like, to tell a human being, to tell an adult to vote for the lesser of the, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Can we stop that? So quit going with tradition. Quit going with just how shit is always going. No, man. Think for yourself. Think for your goddamn self. Are we even really voting in the president? Like, with the involvement of the electoral college and how that whole process goes down, am I really voting for somebody? Is my vote actually counting? Right? And then, if you're the kind of person, especially if you're black, especially if you're in our community, if you just cast your vote, then go back to your regular life, go back to working, go back to being in your little insulated bubble where you don't really help nobody or do nothing for nobody else but yourself and your family. You ain't really doing shit anyways, right? I personally feel everybody as individuals, we have the power to at least attempt to make this world better. We have the power to at least attempt to make this world better, right? And we can do that by getting involved in our communities. We can do that by starting, if you're black, you can do it by starting a black business. You can do it by going to town hall meetings and being involved in all the groundwork that people in our community put down, right? You can do that by learning as much as you can learn about history and then disseminate that to kids or disseminate that to young people, right? Like, fuck voting. Why are we focused on voting when there's a whole bunch of other shit we can do? And, in my opinion, if we're going to go off voting, so far, the shit really hasn't worked. If we're looking at black folks, I'm looking at my people in particular and where we stand in this country, right? Yes, the Civil Rights Act passed, and all of these things took place in the 60s. So now we can be whatever we want to be. We can be the president. We can be in politics. I can work with somebody white, right? All that shit is true, but within all those fractions is still hella racism. So yeah, we've been allowed in to a degree, but we still at the end of the goddamn line. We still don't got no goddamn power. So fuck all that. Like, right? What does that shit matter if we can't push the button? What does that shit matter if we can't even get a cop arrested? How much power do we got in this country? Black politicians, right? Which black politicians are coming together saying, fuck that, these cops are getting arrested no matter what? Who's doing that for us, right? So fuck this voting shit, man. That is, to me, a piece of the puzzle when it comes to liberating our people, when it comes to empowering people around you, when it comes to making a difference. That's a piece of the puzzle. Sometimes a fucking small piece. Now, your local elections, if you have kids that go to school around you, around your house, around where you live, getting involved in those local elections, learning who's for what, right? Learning who you can put your vote behind to make an impact in your community. But I recommend going into that situation the same way. If you don't find nobody, even at a local level, that represents what you represent, fuck it. Fuck it. We're going to just keep giving our vote thinking that's the... Fuck TV, man. Cut your TV off. Cut your TV off. Stop listening to celebrities. Stop listening to entertainers. Stop all that shit. Be logical. Pick up a fucking book. Be logical. Do what makes sense to you. Do what has worked, right? I'm all into replicating what has been beneficial to us, what has worked for us, right? And I'm not quite sure voting has been a big proponent of change in our community. So, yeah, in Arkansas, the brother Lionel Morris lost his life. Another one of us lost our life in the same manner, right? So even though this was in February, so it's been a while, and they just reporting on the story now because of video footage came out. Like, God bless the goddamn camera phone, right? Man, at the end of the day, because a lot of these incidents we wouldn't even know about if it wasn't for a phone or some sort of technology that let us know what's going on, right? So in Arkansas, hopefully those cops go to jail. Hopefully the legislation, hopefully some politicians that are black in Arkansas see fit to hold these cops accountable. Hopefully. But if not, family, on a individual level, we have to continue fighting. Like, I know everything that's been going on with George Floyd and almost the politicizing of all of our incidents, the politicizing of the killing of George Floyd, how all of the different industries in America, you know, I cut on the NBA and they got Black Lives Matter on the ground, they got Black Lives Matter on their shirt, every fucking commercial was about black people, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if the intentions of these people are right,